So today, friends, we are going to read the Sutta from Sutta Nipata, from the second Vagga of Sutta Nipata, seventh Sutta, Brahmanical Traditions. It is actually a history Buddha is telling about Brahmins in India. Brahmins is a priest class in India which used to perform puja and sacrifices, yajnas. They used to worship fire, they're fire worshippers. In the era before Buddha, they were fire worshippers, and they used to recite mantras from Vedas, and they used to give a lot of donations in that fire worshipping ceremony, which is called as yajna, yagya or yajna. But in the earlier period, they were very good in their morality, in the precepts. So this is how Buddha tells them how they got demoralized, or how their morality came down because of the tanaha, because of the craving. So this is the story of that. So I have heard, Evam me sutam. At one time, the Buddha was staying near Savatthi in Jeta's grove, Anath Pindika's monastery. Ekan samayang bhagava Savathyam viharati Jetavane Anatha Pindikasa arame. Then several old and well-to-do Brahmins of Kosala, elderly and senior, who were advanced in years and had reached the final stage of life, went up to the Buddha and exchanged greetings with him. Athako Sambahula Kosalaka Brahmana Mahasala Jinna Uddha Mahallaka Addhagata Vayo Anupatta Ena Bhagava Tena Upasangaminsu Upasankamitva Bhagavata Saddhim Sammodinsu. When the greetings and polite conversation were over, they sat down to one side and said to the Buddha, Sammodaniyam katham saraniyam viti saretva ekamantam nisidinsu ekamantam nissinnakho te brahmana mahasala bhagavantam etadavochum. Master Gotama, are the ancient traditions of the Brahmins exhibited these days among Brahmins? Saddij sati nukho bho Gotama etarahi brahmana purananam brahmanadammeti. No Brahmins, they are not. Nakho brahmana sandissati etarahi brahmana purananam brahmanadammeti. If you would not mind, Master Gotama, please teach us the ancient traditions of the Brahmins. Sadhuno bhavam Gotamo purananam brahmanadammam bhasatu sache bhoto Gotamassa aguruti. Well then, Brahmins, listen and apply your mind well. I will speak. Te nahi brahmana sunath sadhukam manasi karotha bhasissamiti. Yes, sir, they replied. Evam bhoti khote brahmana mahasala bhagavato pachasosum. The Buddha said this, Bhagava etadavocha. The ancient seers used to be restrained and austere. Isayo pubbaka asum. Sanyatata tapassino. Having given up the five sensual titillations means the subjects for eyes, subjects for ears, subjects for nose, subjects for tongue, and subjects for the skin or body. They lived for their own true good. Attadatham charisum. Brahmins used to own no cattle, na pasu brahmanarasum. They did not own the cattle, nor gold or grain, na hiranyam na dhanyam. Chanting was their wealth and grain, sajjayadana dhanyasu, which they guarded as a gift from God, brahmam nidhim palayum. Food was prepared for them, means other people. the people other than priests, they used to prepare the food for them. Food was prepared for them and left beside their doors. So the householders, they used to prepare food for Brahmins and keep it beside their doors. Dwara bhattam upachitam. People believed that food prepared in faith, Saddha Pakata Mesanam, should be given to them. Datave Tadamanyusu. So, with faith, the other people, non-Brahmin people, they used to prepare food for Brahmins and they used to go to the Brahmins' houses and keep the food beside their doors. With colorful clothes, Nana Rattehi Vattehi, clothes and bedding, Sayane Havasatehi, prosperous nations and countries, Pita Janapata Rattha, honored those Brahmins. Te namaste sum Brahmani. Brahmins used to be inviolable and Avajja Brahmana asum invincible, protected by principle. Ajaya Dhamma Rakhita. No one ever turned them away. Nanechi kochi, nane kochi nevaresi. From the doors of families, Kuladvaresu sabbaso. For 48 years, Attachattali Savassani, they led the spiritual life. Omar Brahmacharyam Chari Subde means they did not marry for 48 years. In the ancient era, in the ancient age, Brahmins used to remain unmarried for 48 years. After 48, some people will get married and some of the Brahmins will remain celibate throughout the life. The Brahmins of old pursued Vijjacharana Pariyetthim, their quest for knowledge and conduct, Acharum Brahmana Pure. Brahmins never transgressed with another. Na Brahmana Anyamagamum, nor did they purchase a wife. Napi Bhariyam Kinin Syutu. They lived together in love. Means they did not accept dowry or they did not give dowry. They lived together in love. Sampi Eneva Samvasam, joining together by mutual consent. Sangantva Samarojayum. Brahmins never approached their wives for sex. Anyatra Tamha Samya. During the time outside, Utu Veeramanim Pati, the fertile phase of the menstrual cycle. Antara Methunam Dhammam, Nasu Gachanti Brahmana after menstruation. They praised celibacy and morality, Brahmacharyancha Seelancha, integrity, gentleness and fervor, Ajjavam Maddavam Tapam, gentleness and harmlessness, Soracham Avihinsancha, and also patience, Kantin Chapi Avannayum. He who was supreme among them, Yonesam Paramo Asi, godlike, staunchy, vigorous, Brahma Dharra Parakamo. His name was Brahma, and he was very much vigorous in his sadhana, his meditation. Did not engage in sex, even in a dream. Savapi Methunam Dhammam, Supinante Pinagama. Even in dream, he never
Dr. Madhusudanji, we can't hear you anymore.
they begged for rice. Tandulam Sayanam Vattam, bedding clothes, ghee and oil. Sappi Telancha Yachiya, having collected them legitimately, Dhammena Samodhanitva, they arranged a sacrifice. Tato Yanyama Kappayum. But they slew no cows. Uppattitasming Enyasmi, Nasugavo Hanin Sute, while serving at the sacrifice. So, in the previous era, before the Buddha, ancient age, cows were never sacrificed in the worship of fire. Like a mother, father, or brother, yatha mata, pita bhata, anneva pichanyataka, or some other relative. The cows are like mata means mother, pita means father, bhata means brother, anneva pichanyataka means any other relative. Cows are our best friends. Gaono paramamita ya sujayanti osadha annada balada cheta vannada sukhada tatha. Gao na paramamitta. Cows are our best friends. The plants, the plants of medicine. The medicine is produced from the cow's urine, cow's dung. From they give food and health because they produce bulls. The bulls do work in the farms, and we get food from them. Cow gives milk. It gives medicines prepared from that milk. Uh, Medicine is also prepared from cow's urine. Medicine is also prepared from cow's dung. So that's why they are called Annada, Balada, Cheta. They give food and health. And Varnada, beauty. Sukhada, happiness also they give. Knowing these benefits, Etamattava samnyatva nasugao haninsute. So they did not sacrifice the cows in the fire worship. The Brahmins were delicate and tall. Sukhumala Mahakaya Varnavanto Yasassino Brahmana Sehidam Mehi. They were beautiful and glorious. They were keen on all the duties required by their own traditions. Kicha Kichesu Usuka. What should be done and what should not be done. That's they knew according to the rules. So long as they continued in the world, people flourished happily. Avaloke avitinsu sukham edithayam paja. The people, general public remained happy as long as Brahmins followed the rules, as long as they followed the rules. But perversion crept into them. Tesam asi vipallaso Viswan anuto anum Rajino chaviyakaram Nariyo samalankata. Craving arose in the minds of Brahmins. Day by day they kept saying the splendor of the king and the ladies in all their finery, all with their jewelries. They saw the chariots of the king. Rathe cha ajanya sanyute. The chariots were harnessed with thoroughbreds, well made with bright canopies. Sukate chittasi bane. And their homes and houses were neatly laid out in measured rows. Nivesane nivese cha vibhatte bhagasobite. They were lavished with herds of cattle, Gomandala Paribyudham, and furnished with babies of lovely ladies. Nari Varaganayutam, this extravagant human wealth, Uraram Manusambhogam, Abhichayinsu Brahmana, was coveted by the Brahmins. So the Brahmins developed jealousy towards the kings. They saw so much of wealth, so many good things with them, so beautiful ladies with them. So, and the jewelry won by the ladies, they complied hymns to that end. Te tathamate gathentva, and approached King Okaka and said, Okakam tadupagamum. You have plenty of wealth and grain. Pahuta dhana dhanyosi. Sacrifice, for you have much treasure. Ejassu bahute vittam. So we should uh, perform a fire worship ceremony where you can give donation, sacrifice, for you have much wealth. Yajjasu bahute dhanam. So the king Okaka is the original ancestor of the Buddha, and he was the king of India. And he is also supposed to be the son of Manu. Manu is supposed to somebody like Adam in Bible. Manu is supposed to the first human being in Indian tradition, and his Manu's son is King Okaka. He is the main ancestor of Buddha's Shakya Vamsha. Okaka. In Sanskrit, he is called Ikshvaku. So the Brahmins went to him and asked him to arrange a ceremony of fire worshipping so that he can give donations of his wealth to the needy ones or to the public. Persuaded by the Brahmins, the king, chief of charioteers, performed horse sacrifice, human sacrifice, the sacrifices of the casting of the yoke pin, the royal soma drinking, and the unbarred. ततो च राजा सन्यत्तो ब्राह्मणे हि रथे सभो अस्समेधम पुरीसमेधम the sacrifices of the casting of the yoke pin sammapasam vajpayam niragaram. So these are different types of fire worshipping ceremonies, yajnas. In the ceremony where a horse is sacrificed, it is called Assamedham. Where a human being, a man is sacrificed, it is called Puri Samedham. So there are another type of sacrifices, drinks and all those things. When he had carried out these sacrifices, he gave riches to the Brahmins. Ete yage ajitvan brahmananam madadhanam. There were cattle, bedding, and clothes, and ladies in all their finery, chariots harnessed with thoroughbreds, well made with bright canopies. Gavo sayanancha vathancha nariyo samalankata रथे च आजन्य संयुते sukate chittasi bane. And lovely homes. Nivesanani means homes. Rammani means lovely, which are attractive. Suvibhattani bhagaso, neatly laid out in measured rows, having furnished them with different grains. Nana dhanyasa puretva, he gave riches to the Brahmins. Brahmananamadadhanam. When they got hold of that wealth, te cha tatha dhanam ladha, they arranged to store it up. Sannidhim somarochayum. So remember, in ancient era previously, they did not store anything. Daily they went for alms and they got food from the non-Brahmins. But once craving arose then in them, they started storing the food and the wealth. Falling under the sway of desire, tesam ichhavati nanam. Their craving grew and grew. Bhiyo tanha pavadhatha. They compiled hymns to that end. Te tathamante gandhetva. Approached King Okaka once more and said, Okakam punam upagami. Like water and earth, yatha apo cha pathavi cha. Gold, riches and grain. Hiranyam dhanadhanyam are cows for humankind. Evam gavo manusanam. See, by seeing the beautiful cows, the greed arose in them. They thought that if the cows are so beautiful, how their flesh will be? Maybe it is very tasty. That's what the Brahmins of that era thought. And they went to Okaka, Ikshvaku, and they told him to arrange a sacrificing ceremony for the cows also. As they are essential for creatures, parikharo sohi paninam, sacrifice for you have much richer. Yajasu bahute vittam, sacrifice for you have much wealth. Yajasu bahute dhanam. Persuaded by the Brahmins, the king of chief of charioteers had many 100,000 cows slain at the sacrifice. Tato cha raja sanyatto brahmane hi rathe sabho nekasat sahasyo gao yanne aghatai. So the King got the cows killed for the taste of Brahmins. Neither with feet nor with horns do cows harm anyone at all. न पादा न विसाणेन नासु हिंसन्ति केनचि. Cows meek as lambs supply buckets of milk. गावो एळक समाना सोरता कुंभ दूहना. But taking them by the horns, the king slew them with a sword. ता विसाणे गहेत्वान राजा सत्थेन घातई. At that the gods and the ancestors, tato deva pitarocha, Indo asura rakkhasa, with Indra, the titans and the monsters, roared out, "This is a crime against nature." Adhammo iti pakkandum, as the sword fell on the cows. Yam satham nipati gave. Now, what the Buddha says here, see. There used to be three kinds of illnesses. Tayo roga pure asum. Before the cows were murdered for the fire worship, there used to be only three diseases: greed, starvation, and old age, ichha anasanam zara. But due to the slaughter of cows, pasunancha samarambha, due to the slaughter of the animals, this grew to be 98. Atthanavutim agamu. So killing the animals has caused many diseases. There used to be only three diseases in the humankind, and that were greed, starvation, and old age. But all these infectious diseases, all these lifestyles diseases, all types of diseases, all other types of diseases, except the greed, starvation, and old age, they arose in this world after animals were murdered by human beings. This unnatural violence, eso adhammo dandanam, has been passed down as an ancient custom. Okkanto purano ahu, killing innocent creatures. Adusikayo hanyanti, the sacrificers forsake righteousness. Dhamma dhansanti yajaka. And that is how this mean old practice, evameso anudhammo, was criticized by sensible people. Purano vinyugarahito. Wherever they see such a thing, yat edisakam passati, who criticize the sacrificer. Yajakam garahati jano. So on many instances, you will read in the Buddha's biography that he went and stopped the sacrifice of animals in the fire worship sacrifices. There are many such instances in the suttas where Buddha did this. So he did not want the animals to be killed for the taste of the people. With righteousness gone, evam dhamme viyapanne, peasants and menials were split. Vibhinna Suddha Vesika, as were many aristocrats. Puthu Vibhanna Khattiya, and wives looked down on their husbands. Patim Bhariyavamanyatha. So, when the righteousness was gone, the non-Brahmin caste got divided. Also, the ruling caste also got divided, and wives had no respect for their husbands. Aristocrat and Brahma's kinsmen, Khattiya, Brahma Bandhucha, and others protected by their clan, Echa Anne Gottarakhita, neglecting their genealogy, Jativadam Nirakato, fell under the sway of sensual pleasures. Kamanam Vasaman Vagunti. When he had spoken, Those well-to-do Brahmins said to the Buddha, Evam uttete Brahmana Mahasala Bhagavantam etadavochum. Excellent Master Gotama, excellent. Abhikantam Bho Gotama. From this day forth, Master Gotama, remember us as lay followers who have gone for refuge for life. Upasakeno bhavam Gotamo dhare tu ajjatagge panupete saranam gateti. Upasake means lay followers of the Buddha. No bhavam Gotamo. We will be now become your lay followers. Dhare tu ajjatagge. We will accept your lay followership as our priority. Panupete. As long as our life is there. Saranam gateti. So we take refuge in you till we are alive. So it is very important not to kill animals. Many people think that there is nothing wrong in killing animals. But Buddha was against killing animals. It is not only out of compassion, but Buddha says here that killing animals produces diseases. So if you don't want diseases in the world, then you should not kill animals. This is the message from this sutta. It is about the first precepts, not killing the animals. And he has explained why not to kill animals by giving the history of the India, ancient history of the India, where there were no diseases previously, and diseases started after people started killing animals for their taste, own taste. So, any questions?
Dr. Madhusudanji,
Yes.
what about food for sustenance? So, like, some people may argue, if we don't if we don't kill any, if nobody in the world, let's say, kills any animals, then what about just sustenance in terms of the nutrients, or sometimes certain things that uh, people feel that, let's say, being a vegetarian or a vegan may be having an imbalanced diet, for example.
I think elephant is the biggest animal we can see, and elephants are vegetarians, and horses are very strong in their power. They have horse powers. They also they are also vegetarians. At least the followers of Dhamma, they should not kill animals. The question of being a vegetarian or non-vegetarian is different. But if nobody kills animals, everybody has to be vegetarian, become vegetarian. Or you can eat animals which are died on their own, which are dead on their own. Those animals you can eat. Okay.
Does anyone have any questions? Doesn't have to be about today's sutta, right, Dr. Madhusudan? It can be any
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Uh, Dr. Madhusudan, I am just curious why you picked this sutta today.
No, I am reading the whole Sutta Nipata, one by one, all suttas. Okay, so it just came in the line. I'm not here to propagate vegetarianism or anything.
Okay.
This-
Yeah, I never really explored the Sutta Nipata, so I'm curious, Dr. Madhusudanji, so far, how do you find the Sutta Nipata different from, let's say, the main group of Nikayas?
uh, according to historians, Sutta Nipata collects the oldest discourses of the Buddha, the very early discourses of the Buddha. So they are very short ones. There are a lot of things discussed, and there is no anapana. Anapana is not mentioned in Sutta Nipata. Only metta is there. Okay, metta is there, and the meditation on Ashubha is there, but the breathing mindfulness is not there in Sutta Nipata. Yeah. Okay. And they give a lot of history, ancient history about India, and a beautiful picture of how the things were, how the environment was there, how the houses were there, how the dresses of the people were there. All this is there in Sutta Nipata. So we get a picture of Buddha's era by reading Sutta Nipata. So these are the discourses which were given very early after his enlightenment. That is what historians say.
Okay, thank you for sharing. That's very interesting. Maybe next time, Dr. Madhusudanji, you can share some other early text. The early texts, I think, are always very interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess if there are, Sarmaji, you have question? No question. Okay. Maybe if there's no question, then maybe we
I have
can.
to make it clear that eating non-veg is not a breaking of precepts, but killing the animals is breaking of precept. Okay.
Intention is more important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our Taittiriya Upanishad
Mm-hmm.
speaks about this particular thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Each being is eating another being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the duality concept comes,
Mm-hmm.
then everything has to be given nivedana to the God. The God concept has come just because before eating your food or your flesh, I started praying the God and eating.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how the God concept came. Taittiriya Upanishad speaks about it.
Okay.
So in the universe, one being is eating the another being.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it cannot starve.
Mm-hmm.
Not with a bad intention, I am speaking.
Yeah.
This is how the Upanishad spoke about it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Sharmaji, for telling us. So, can you share the screen of sharing merits now?
Okay, just one moment. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay.
So we can all share merits now. May suffering ones be suffering free and the fear struck fearless be. May the craving shed all grave and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you, everyone.